You thought that the only way to monetize your content is by launching a cohort, spending months building a course, or scaling your coaching offer. But what if I told you that there's a better way to monetize that allows you to get paid as you grow your audience and as you build out your resources, all while staying flexible so you can decide exactly what business you would like to run through your social media and your content. So now you can build into the future and pivot into whatever avenue you would like. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly the new way creators are monetizing their skills, knowledge, and creativity to make an income online, all without spending years growing an audience, without burning out by trying to balance client work and content, and without having to sell your soul with high pressure funnels or really salesy landing pages and email sequences, or any complex funnels that is in general. My name is Ethan, and I've transitioned to a fully online creator-based business model after being a freelance photographer. And I did this transition in just 3 to 4 months, but it could have gone a lot smoother if I just knew a few of these key details. And that's why I've made this system that I'm going to be covering in this video right now. And if you want to learn exactly how to transition from freelance, busy service work to more of an online creator style business, then you can join the free school community. The link is going to be in the description. And that's going to give you all my free resources, templates, and some stuff to get you going so you can start earning money with your content right away. And if you haven't watched my main model video yet, that's going to be the prerequisite. So you get a full bird's eye view on what my model is, what our business is. And now you're going to be diving into the 6-part mini series of exactly how to launch a profitable personal brand. And this is video 2. So link is going to be in the description for that first video. And if you're watching the series, then welcome to video 2. Let's get into flexible digital delivery. You see, the biggest issue with most creators is they eventually quit after a few weeks of posting content because they don't really see the full benefit in why they should be posting content in the first place. It's not really realistic for creators to be posting content for 1 to 2 years every single day while balancing their job or freelance work without getting paid. And that was the biggest problem that I found, and that's why it took me years to finally launch and monetize my personal brand, because the path and the payoff was just so unclear. Most creators don't have the resources, which is time and or money, to focus on their content and continue investing in their creator style business and their personal brand. And when you lack that clear motivation or roadmap, a lot of creators do end up quitting, and I don't blame them. So we need to have a clear end goal and monetization plan so we can start posting content consistently, because I'll give you a little secret. To really grow an audience online, you kind of have to go all in. You have to be posting 5, 6, 7 times a day for a few weeks, for a few months, until you really see the results. Dabbling in something is never going to really give you the results. At some point, you really just have to dive in and blindly trust the process, because you know it's going to work and you have a proven system, or path, or plan that you want to execute on. And it's only then, after I made that really decision to grow my personal brand and went all in, where I grew 50,000 followers in just a few months, and then 150,000 followers after the following year. And it does become very quick once you fully commit. Okay, so let's continue this conversation on the whiteboard here, and I can show you exactly kind of the old way a lot of people were doing things. And I found this very frustrating because it was so rigid, and people ironically weren't really thinking of creative ways of delivering their service. So in Catalyst, we do things a little bit differently. But the old way of doing things was trying to build courses, which has really high upfront time. Again, it's going to cost you months and months to complete these courses. Another bad thing about courses is it has a really low completion rate and accountability. So you buy the course, and then most likely 95% of people are not going to complete the course. I think the average course completion rate is between 5 and 15% online, which of course, if you want to be actually getting people results and having an impact, which if you have a big impact, then you're going to get paid more through referrals and good testimonials, etc., then you're going to want people to complete and watch your course. So it really is not all that great. Then you have coaching and consulting. It's more one-on-one and eventually is not very scalable. It's also going to be very expensive for beginners. So your content has to be ultra niche, and you're not really going to be building an audience or having a bigger impact on the world. It's just going to be helping a very specific ideal client, which is great, but it's also not going to be for everybody. and you're leaving a lot of money on the table. Coaching and consulting also leads to like a loss of confidence for your clients. If you do everything for your clients and guide them through each step, they're not really going to have the confidence and autonomy to continue growing, and therefore also is going to lead of less impact as well in your coaching and consulting business. And then we have communities. And I find with communities, there's inconsistent information because the information is always rolling. So you might be a complete beginner and you join a community and they're talking about like advanced YouTube YouTube editing, and that's just not going to be all that relevant for you. So you hop into the community and there's 17 different Slack channels or Discord channels, and there's FAQs, and everyone's, asking different styles of questions and all that. And it kind of gets a little confusing, especially with more low ticket communities when there's also other beginners in the community, because now you have beginners helping beginners, and that's not all that useful. And I also find with communities, if it does have a course, it's also going to have that same low accountability and low completion rate. Especially if someone ever feels overwhelmed, they're probably not going to enjoy the product or service all that much, and they're not going to get that much results because they're feeling overwhelmed, and then they take no action. And then you have cohorts, which unfortunately, in my experience, talking to many clients, can actually lead to more confusion. A lot of my clients have taken cohorts in the past from pretty big creators, and they typically just have more questions at the end than the beginning, which is totally fine. That means they learned a lot, but without those gaps and that glue to hold everything together, they might not start, or they might still be overwhelmed and confused, and then therefore not get results, and therefore you're not having an impact, and then therefore you're not going to be earning as much money as you could be. And then also cohorts are schedule dependent. So if you can't make certain times, or if you're busy, you won't be able to attend to the cohort, and that's kind of just like lame. That would be unfortunate if, people wanted to attend your cohort, but it doesn't match their schedule. So what I've decided to curate instead was flexible digital delivery. And this is a system in Catalyst where I help creators start to monetize and fix a lot of these different problems. So it really is a hybrid digital value based off of your authentic offer. And if you haven't watched the authentic offer video, that's part 1 of this series. So you have a really clear dream outcome. And once you have a clear dream outcome, then we can start to have a little bit of fun with all these different ways of delivering your product and service, which is a little bit more flexible. So we have on-demand resources, which is basically courses. These can be like files, video trainings, presentations, etc. And then courses are also very scalable, which is amazing, because if you ever want to transition to a more scalable online offer, then you can. We also have high ticket flexibility with coaching and consulting. So that's going to really be the glue to tie everything together and make sure people are getting results. And if you needed to earn a little bit more money with a smaller audience, you have that flexibility to charge more for your services. Then you have one-on-one implementation, which is basically consulting. So if you do need to just ask specific questions or really dive in there, you can be a little more scrappy with your delivery and just help people and get them results for that higher price point as well. You also have just the one-on-one guidance and support. So there's a way more accountability, because if you're working with someone and you have that social accountability, it's going to be way better. You can also add in a community. Once you have enough people coaching, buying your courses, etc., you can also wrap everything up with a community, so then people get to connect with people and get all the benefits of a community. And if it's a more high ticket community, you're also going to be networking with experts and not beginners. And then in a community, you can also throw in the group calls, masterclasses, Q&As, and you can even open these up and sell seats to your programs publicly. Or you could sell public courses in a separate delivery mechanism, all related back to your one authentic offer to keep things nice and simple. And then we also have cohorts, which are just easy to launch. And there's also built-in scarcity, which I think is like the best part about cohorts, because you essentially start at a certain date and you're going to leave everybody behind if they're not in by a certain date. And that is very easy to sell, because everybody understands that there's built-in scarcity, and if they're on the fence, they either have to say yes or no and have at it, wait for the next one, or hop in and have fun this time around. So that's the nice thing about cohorts. And then also cohorts are fun and interactive. So like you get to continue a cadence every week or so, have homework assignments, have templates, have different things, which is all awesome. And the whole idea with flexible digital delivery is we want to start earning money as soon as possible as we're building out all of these different aspects to our offer. And at the end of the offer, once everything is built out, we're going to have an amazing hybrid digital delivery product, because we're going to have so many options here that can really serve our niche, serve our specific offer, serve our audience as best as we can, while also keeping in mind we're building a business that we want to be. I started a community with like 100 people, and they're all paying me like a small ticket amount, like $79 a month. And it was awesome, but I really didn't enjoy it all that much because of the group masterclasses and Q&A calls just became overwhelming for me. And I really should have been focusing more on the high ticket flexibility and one-on-one implementation, which would have been a lot more fun and enjoyable for me, because I really got to see people's results through. So again, again, you have options and you can really build your business however you want. So the first thing we need to really dial in flexible digital delivery is just an authentic offer and clear one-liners. And I call one-liners just really simple one sentences of what you do. One sentence really forces you to be ultra clear and specific on what you're trying to do. It's simpler than a full one-pager or offer document where you have all of your paragraphs and information about your course. You will 100% have your landing page or offer document, but your one-liners are just for you, an internal boundary of what we do. And you can start filling out these questions here and really get an idea of what your one-liners are. What is your program name or unique mechanism, Catalyst? What is the dream outcome for Catalyst? What is your ideal client profile? And again, we have some cool AI stuff that you can really get specific with your ideal client profile. That's going to be really important. Then you also want to highlight your 3 major solutions based off of the problems that your client runs into a lot. So for me, like a lot of people struggle posting content. So I'm going to help people post content. I'm going to help people post content consistently and go viral. I also am going to help people with solution 2, which is creating an offer and how to actually get paid through monetizing and how to package everything up so you can sell it, right? So that's another big pillar or solution that I offer in Catalyst. And the last solution is connection. So how do we connect with our audience without feeling salesy, without being over the top, but also just building that community? And that's why I say connection, which is basically sales and marketing, but connection is a bit more organic way because this is a more organic model. And then in your program, you can also have 2 systems for each of these solutions, which is just easier to explain to people, and it gives you your unique IP very clearly. And then you can also have your unique names and mechanisms. So you have Creator Catalyst System, Flexible Digital Delivery, Digitalize Your Business. All of these things are like my unique mechanisms and IP that I talk about and feel unique to me. Well, they are unique to me because I've made them, but I'm making it clear that it's unique to me by giving them these unique or fancy names. Then your full one-liner is like your I help statement. So if you look at my bio on Instagram, it's like I help creators and freelancers escape client work and start their creator business. That's going to be your actual one-liner. And then you have your without statement. So if you look at the beginning of this video, I have a couple without statements of basically what people hate. So you go back up to your ideal client profile. What does this person hate? So maybe they hate super salesy people. Maybe they hate taking sales calls. Maybe they hate spending months on a course for it not to work. Maybe they hate all the posers and like really lame, cringy content. Whatever it is, that's like your without statement. So I'm going to help you achieve this without feeling cringy, without spending hours making content, without sacrificing client work, without having to be stressed all the time. So then once we have all of our one-liners, then we have one dream outcome, your ideal future client, and then your unique mechanism, which is basically your name of the program. And then you're going to use flexible digital delivery to earn as you're building, which is perfect. And a roadmap of what this really looks like, and this is again what you can just copy and take your own notes right now, is you have your one dream outcome, which is just your one-liner, your one sentence. Then you have your unique mechanism. So mine is Catalyst or the Creator Catalyst System. And there's certain steps in my program that I take all of my clients through to make sure they achieve that dream outcome. So first we need a clear offer. And then I also split mine up into 3 phases. So it's even easier so you can sell it as an elevator pitch. So my 3 phases of Catalyst is creating a scalable and clear offer, and then using flexible digital delivery to really build out your offer and get paid. You're also going to discover your one-of-one niche in that first phase. Then we're going to be posting short form content because that's the easiest way to get going, get attention, and start testing out the market. You're also going to soft launch your offer in phase 2 so you can get on sales calls with people. Not even sales calls, like just connecting calls with people to see what do they want. You can tell people about your offer and be like, is this something you're interested in? Is there anything else I can add to make this a no-brainer option for you? That's a sneaky one. You can basically just do market research and see, okay, what happens when I elevator pitch someone and tell them about my service and what people in my industry or niche or ideal client realm would want. And also you can just invite people for free for testimonials or case studies just to get the ball rolling. A big thing that I do in Catalyst is just breaking the ice. There's a lot of barriers that beginners struggle with that we just need to break the ice and get everything going, because once you're past that, you're out. You've broken the ceiling and now you can continue to grow. And then the last phase of Catalyst is long form content creation. And this is where you get to really build your empire of content. So you can have your email sequence, you can have your email marketing, you have your lead magnets, you have your YouTube series, all of these different things to really basically sell as you sleep. And it's more of a scalable option. And then by that time as well, you'd have a bit more of your course built out. So that's like your unique mechanism and IP. Like what is the best way that you do things that gets your clients results? And once we have this curriculum or your unique mechanism, then we can start splitting it up in different cohorts, communities, one-on-one coaching, courses, and AI playbooks. playbooks. We can use a combination of everything. It just depends on your offer, your niche, what you want to do, what's your values in your own business. I tend to stream more towards freedom and flexibility. Also, AI playbooks, not a lot of creators are talking about this, but you can basically steal in Catalyst some of my prompt structures and just start plugging it into your business. So AI is essentially a whole new workforce. And if you know the right systems to use it, or if you just get a playbook on how to actually build your ideal client profile using AI, and it's going to ask you all of these different questions, and it's going to prompt you and then create a bio and then create other tendencies, and it can fill in the gaps for you, you're going to be way more set. And that's going to be a very unique way of delivering your program, which is another good part about flexible digital delivery. The next thing we do once we have everything laid out and you have a good idea of what that all looks like is you want to start with a beta launch. So of course, selling your first digital product is going to be a little hard. You're going to have to be pretty confident about it. And it's a bit of a fun thing to get your first few testimonials. So what we actually want to be doing is just creating like a mini beta program. So we can plan out your like minimal viable delivery. And it's going to be typically a shorter length of time to get people results. And if it's a shorter amount of time, you also don't need to charge as much for it. So you can just have like a cheaper beta launch of your program so you can get people results, get testimonials, get case studies, but you're also not committing to a 4-month program or a 12-month program right off the bat. You can start with something like a weekend shortcut or a 1-week shortcut or a 1-month test coaching program where the price is a lot cheaper and you can really see how it goes. And if you don't even want to sell at all, you can just give it away for free, get the testimonials, get the experience. And then once you have everything set, you continue to start building and then you really launch your longer style programs, which can be 4 months or years or whatever really fits your boat, whatever you think is going to be best for your clients. But the main idea with this length of delivery is we need them to get results. So it's the shortest amount of time that they can get results with your offer. And now let's talk about building out your actual offer. So you have this whole like diagram basically filled out. Now it might be a little overwhelming of building it out. Once you have an idea of what you want to build, realistically, what we're trying to avoid is spending 6 to 12 months on a course for it just not to sell. So how do we actually build out our offer to make sure it's easy and we're getting paid and we're growing our audience and we're not overwhelmed, especially if you have client work or service work or other businesses or jobs as you're building out so you can replace your income. A good example here is my client, Jack. So this was his first deal, and this was on his 6th week of working with me. He earned $1,000, which is like 1,500 Australian dollars. So shout out to the Australians. That was like a cool testimonial. Went viral a couple times. Then he signed his second deal. So now he's already at 3,000 Australian dollars by the end of the program, which is amazing. And he did this all without having to commit months and months and months to building a course. So essentially what Jack did is he was able to communicate his offer so he gets paid to build it out. So he says, first phase, we're going to do this. Second phase, we're going to do this. Third phase, we're going to do this. You're going to start at this point, and at the end of this program, you're going to achieve blank, blank, blank for this specific person. And now he's getting paid, that $3,000 to build out his program, gets paid to build his course. And now the next time prices go up, it gets better and better. And now he can continue growing with whatever delivery mechanism he wants. So it is a slower process. And I do have like a course tracker. I can just show you here if you want. This is straight out of the Catalyst book. I'm going off scripts. Okay. So this is actually what I give my clients inside of Catalyst. So this is just like a master course tracker. So you have different modules and then it lines up with different phases as well. So it's like maybe you want to start with onboarding, mindset, work, and then freedom. These are just examples. And then you have like different statuses. So like you want to start it, or it's in progress, or it's complete. And this way you can start really building out, what you're supposed to be building, what's highest priority, what can wait, and you can build your course over the course of a year. Maybe you update it, maybe whatever it makes sense for your own business and your own life. There's also like a school folder. So like if you organize it in school as well, that's all there for you. I have like a date aimed to complete. So anyways, you can make your own version of this. This is just what I have for my clients in Catalyst. And that way you're not overwhelmed when you're making your resources and as you're building your audience and getting paid to build out everything out. So this is all fine and dandy. And now we can start doing market research and really diving in and starting our business. But then there's one more question that we have to answer is, how do we actually get attention. Well, this is my bread and butter, and this is actually what the whole program is named after, is the Creator Catalyst system. And this is my absolute expertise because I was a photographer, and I'd say I'm pretty damn good at making content. And really, to break it down, to get attention, we need to be posting social media content because that's where the attention is. We're not going to be posting billboards or putting it in the local magazine or newspaper. That's a little out of date. Everything is now on social media, and this is really where you're going to build your audience, your digital leverage, and everything else you'd want to do. So we're going to be posting content on social media. And the way we need to be posting content is we need to post efficiently and effectively. We need to not spend weeks and weeks and weeks making content for no results. And we also need to be getting results, which is views and clients and leads. Basically, that means we need to be posting viral content and we need to be posting easy content. So basically what that means is we need to be posting viral content and we need to make it easy for ourselves. It should be like 45 minutes a day of making content, and that's it. And that 45 minutes should be getting you to go viral. So the way we do that is finding proven viral ideas so we can get really good at making content. And you're going to find a system and schedule where content is easy and fun. So in the next video of this series, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how I make content and how I grew my personal brand to over 200,000 followers in just 1 year. I make content for about 45 minutes a day, and I grow thousands of followers every single month, and I have more leads than I know what to do with. So if you want to learn my system to creating viral content easily, all in 45 minutes a day, and still balancing your client work and everything else you have going on in your busy lives, then click the third episode of this series, and I will see you in the next one. The link is going to be in the description or around here, and I will see you in the next video. And if you want to connect and get started right away, you can DM me 56 on Instagram and we can have a chat about a more one-on-one personalized game plan for you. And if you just want some more resources, templates, and all the free goodies that I have, you can consider joining the free school community. Link is also going to be in this description for that. All I want is for you to be able to ditch client work and start your creator business and start building a life of freedom and purpose rather than just building someone else's vision. And with that, I will see you in the next video. Creator Catalyst system. Let's go. Peace.